hidden it. Okay, so our hidden form here is our original form. We copied all the code here. Now we just need to connect it for tracking. Hopefully now that we deleted that second form, which we're skipping all that section of that video, sorry people that are watching this later, when we hit this button, we will find only the one form that we were hoping to find, and it will still be untrackable.
Okay.
There's our form. There's no class. You cannot track it. Cool. We'll delete this one since that was that old form that we removed from the footer of the website. Basically, in order to track stuff, now that we've fixed Dave's form trick and kind of put our custom form on that page, we're just going to add the classes and the things that we need. So rather than trying to use this, we'll just go straight down into advanced integration. I recommend trying this every time first because there's no reason to go through these steps if you don't have to. But for titanium forms that are on new titanium sites, you definitely will need to.
Okay.
So we're just going to edit the form, or our custom code module in this case, and we're going to add a class to the form. Personally, I like WC form. WC meaning what converts, which is the name of that software that we use for leads. So now we can just say look for WC form. You don't always have to do your submit button, but if you're having trouble to begin with, I find that mapping your submit button can be very helpful, especially in the case where they don't necessarily know that the form has been submitted, because when you hit the submit button, the form doesn't submit. When you hit the submit button, the script is triggered, and then the script sends the form. So we're going to put WC submit. Super easy.
Okay.
We shall save that. If we were to search it now, it's going to say, hey, we found your form via WC form. So we'll do that, and then we'll just map the submit button anyways because we already did that work.
So you don't technically need to go through the advanced integration if once you go through and put in those.
We're going to do the WC submit because I think you technically do. If we were to go and send this, we still would get nothing just because it can't find our submit button. That was mostly just to show you the reason it couldn't find the form was just the class. So adding a class alone will fix it in a lot of cases. Sometimes it still will not. A lot of the time when the problem is like it can't find the form at all. So say if it's a WordPress form, you can add or find what the class is on the WordPress form and map it like this, and you don't need to worry about the submit button because WordPress makes it clear where the submit button is on a lot of forms. For example, Contact Form 7 or Ninja Forms. Both of those integrate pretty well. I think there might be like some code that maybe what convert says, hey, add this code so that we can recognize this specific Ninja Forms code. But once you do that and give them the class, you don't need to map the submit button.
Okay.
So the submit button really is just like before we contact what convert support and we haven't been able to figure out anything else, try the submit button. Which is why they say, in most cases, you won't have to, because technically what you're mapping is look at this and call this an alternate submit if your regular submit isn't working. We're just telling them, hey, here's what the regular submit actually was. Use the regular submit as your alternate submit.
Okay.
The most common use case for this would be like if the submit button within the form is like a multi-step, and when you press submit, it goes to the next step and doesn't submit anything, and you don't want it to accidentally say like, oh, we only got half the form data every single form.
Yeah.
In theory now, we should be able to refresh this page and fill this in.